Second?
I've got a motion and a second.
No.
Okay.
Call the
All in
question.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And RJ, the payroll claims?
Regular payroll claims of $618,343.17, check numbers 8145 to 8204, and direct deposit.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to pay the regular payroll claims.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the payroll claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, same question. What was the Finance Committee's recommendation?
Finance Committee doesn't see payroll claims.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, we're going to take a quick 3-minute break. We'll be back here at 5 minutes to 8.
Yeah, just when it comes to you, I'll put your name tag up and you can slide it.
Go ahead and come back into regular session.
That's right. You know, just see the process, find out how it works.
Moving on to the next item on the agenda, the mayor's report. I have a somewhat lengthy one, but I'm going to try and move through it fairly quickly. First thing I would like to do is to acknowledge and introduce Mr. Lloyd Halverson, our interim city administrator. I think Lloyd he got fully immersed today. We started at 7:30 this morning with meetings, and he's still here at this hour, and I only saw him leave at one point today, and that was to go down to the port for their meeting. So if he keeps up that schedule, I'm going to be absolutely amazed. I do want to bring to the council's attention a couple of items that we have undertaken in the last week. Obviously, you can see some visual changes here in the council chambers. In addition, we've also undertaken to start some audio-visual changes, some recording changes, and changing out a little bit of equipment. Mr. Olson? Changing out some equipment. We also now have, for the benefit of those meetings when we have an unusually large crowd, we also have adjustable speakers that are out in the foyer. So a couple of those were added in as we work through that process. In addition, you'll notice at our workshops, we also have some extendable microphones that'll be on the tables for those so that we can capture those actual comments. They'll actually work out into the public areas, that type of stuff, to pick those up. So those are going through, and I want to thank the staff for being as quick as they are on a number of those changes. We also had, for those who haven't cruised through City Hall in the last few days, we've also adjusted some of the staff offices and where folks are trying to get back to, from the staff's point of view, a little bit better arrangement for them of who they need to be close to and the workflow and that type of stuff. In part of that, I think probably the largest piece of that changeover is the use of the rental house next door to the library, Nabil Shawwa's old residence. Rather than go through and re-rent that for the amount that we would have gotten on a monthly rental amount, we've gone ahead and moved some of the planning staff, the inspectors, over into that facility. Will be beginning to undertake some fairly inexpensive improvements to that structure, not to move it away from being a home if we ever want to go back to that, but bringing it to code for the public to be able to access that area and be able to move around, which freed up an awful lot of office space here for people not to be doubled and tripled up into offices. Out of all of that, one of the other nice repairs that we're making to the building, and that list is getting added to daily, is the issue of the radon in the basement of this building, which is now being rectified through ventilation systems, and also some changes to the ventilation systems to eradicate the mold that was growing back in the north wing of the complex. So that work is underway as well, and hopefully through Trevor's offices, they were able to get some assessments made of the roof line this morning, to take care of some problems that some of the staff encountered over the weekend.
Yeah, flat roofs in the Pacific Northwest usually don't work out very well over time.
As we found out. So if you have any questions in regards to that, certainly don't hesitate to ask away, and certainly take a tour back through the offices as they get some things done and some things cleaned up, and see where everybody is now. With that, I would like to move into some appointments for the year and ask the council to entertain appointing your mayor pro tem for the next year.
Mayor Guard?
Yes.
I have a nomination. I would like to nominate Councilman John Russell for the mayor pro tem.
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to nominate Molly as co-star.
I find myself in an odd loss. I don't know that I've ever been in a position where we've had two people that have been nominated for a mayor pro tem in all the years I've been on the council. Suggestions?
This has happened in the past, and we vote. And I think it's a public vote, if I remember right.
Yes, that's correct.
Would have to be public. Absolutely.
Do we actually need seconds on the nominations, Don, or is just a nomination enough?
Nominations is all that's needed.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations? Would someone like to close the nominations?
I move we close the nominations.
Excellent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We've got a nomination of John Russell and a nomination of Molly Costin for mayor pro tem. Mr. Stevenson, would you do a roll call vote?
Molly Costin.
You notice they're both going to be at the start of the end.
Yeah.
Councilmember Shoemaker,
John Russell.
Councilmember McDaniel,
John Russell.
Councilmember Delabar,
John Russell.
Councilmember Greenlee,
John Russell.
Councilmember Morris,
Molly Coast.
Councilmember Russell.
John Russell.
Excellent. So with that, we have Councilmember Russell appointed to the position of mayor pro tem for the coming year. In regards to your individual council committees, I think what I would ask for this evening, and thank you for the detail that was put into the recommendations and the information that went out on it. I think what I would ask for this evening is your appointments for public safety, finance personnel, public works, and then consideration on planning and development committee for this evening, and leave the other appointments as they currently are, the appointments and the liaisons to other committees and boards for the time being. With that, your recommendations for the Public Safety Committee, if I read them correctly, I'll take it as a recommendation, are council members Morris, Costin, and Russell.
Mayor Guard, I would withdraw my name from that position and ask that Councilman Shoemaker be appointed at your
Okay?
request.
I would point out that in December of '08, council passed a resolution which made the three most senior members of council the Public Safety Committee, and that we would need to revoke that resolution before we could change that.
Point of order. Is a resolution of that nature